Welcome to the Wealth Genius Podcast, brought to you by the Expand Wealth Real Estate Fund. Expand your wealth by investing in apartment buildings. Go to expandwealthfund.com to book your info session. The Wealth Genius Podcast, strategies for multifamily real estate investing, mindset, community, success. The Wealth Genius Podcast with your host, the Godfather of Real Estate, Alfonso Cuadra, who has expansive experience in business and massive success as a real estate investor. The Wealth Genius Podcast. Let's dive into today's episode.
All right, sir. Welcome.
Thanks for thanks for having me on. There we go.
And early morning start for you.
Yeah. My mornings are always early starts.
I'm so excited because this will be your fourth appearance at our Expand Investor Conference, which is our 8th edition, which means that you have literally gone to half of the expands.
Look at me go.
I'm excited. A lot of stuff happening in the market right now. First of all, what do you think about the market?
Well, I think that, in any markets, we go through different cycles, and then we have to, as investors, we look at the cycles and say, okay, well, what within the cycle, what are the opportunities? So, right now, of course, we're in a slump cycle pretty much right across the country. And if we're not in it, you're about to go into it. So this is the reality of what happens through these cycles. And what we're seeing, particularly in Ontario, to a lesser degree, British Columbia, is investors have just gone, I'm out. I can't get financing. I can't find deals, blah, blah, blah. All of the stories that show up during slump cycles. Here's the thing about it, is this is where the opportunities exist. It's a little heavier lifting, but it's also the upside is much higher and much stronger over the long term. So again, when we go through these cycles, put yourself in the right environment, surround yourself with the right people, put a plan together, execute against that plan, and create that financial future. And real estate remains a place to put capital to stay ahead of where we're going from an inflation point of view. I mean, there's all the reasons we invest in real estate.
I love it. And for us, like for Helene and I, like in our portfolio, we're taking the most action we've ever taken in the history of our company. There's more deals, more inventory now. As you know, they just cut the rates again. Actually, for me, I was a little bit surprised because I didn't think they would cut it again this year. But we can anticipate a few more cuts. And as the interest rates come down, you're going to see more activity in the market. And, people usually, when everybody understands that we buy low and that's the name of the game. And so usually people like to wait for the bottom, right? They're like, oh, we're going to time the bottom. You can't really time it. And so in my point of view, it's like when things make sense, when the numbers make sense, when there's inventory in the market, when people are motivated, take action. And that's what Expand is about. It's about action taking. And we're going to bring the entire real estate investing community to one place. Mississauga, Expand October 31st to November 2nd. So what are you going to share this time at Expand? What are you going to share? What do you come? This is your 4th Expand, Patrick. What are you sharing? What are you coming with?
Well, as much as I like to share, I also like to hear what other people have going on. But, certainly with what's going on, as my focus is on the economic fundamentals that drive real estate. Where are we at? Because whatever investing you're doing, I don't care if it's the stock market or Bitcoin or whatever, or real estate in this case, it's often, and what we have to remain focused on is risk mitigation. And so whether you're just starting out, like literally you're still trying to figure out how to spell real estate, this is the environment to put yourself in. If you're well on your way, you've got a portfolio, you're thinking about buying, maybe you're even putting out some fires, giving some of the recent downturns and rents and all that, this is the environment to put yourself in. Risk mitigation is always a key aspect of it. And so, my goal always is to deliver what does the future hold? And, as you know, Alfonso, we've been talking about the downturn, the inevitable downturn that's coming, and it is starting to unfold the way we thought. What are the tips to handle that? It doesn't mean you get out. It means you actually put a plan in place so that you're mitigating risk, you're being more efficient with your tenants, with your properties. And for those who are just starting, seeing where the opportunities are. I think, you pointed out really well, which is in times like this, it's where you need to stay engaged. And so that when the opportunities do show up, you pull the trigger. And because you know what a good opportunity looks like. And that's the key. And that's, I think, when you look at expand, it's about having and surrounding yourself with the right people, putting yourself in the right environment, and then having the courage to take action. You and Helene have been doing that through the economic upheavals that we have been experiencing, certainly back in 2020, 21, where you guys really ramped it up, and now again. So that's what it takes.
I love it, sir. I'm so excited about our Expand conference. You've been to four. What's your favorite part? What do you enjoy the most about Expand?
Well, it's a little self-serving. I love to share, 25 years of experience. I love to share the fact that I've learned a lot over that years myself personally as an investor, but observing literally, like yourself, thousands of real estate investors. Not only their wins along the way, but their lessons along the way. And there's that phrase of, stand on the shoulders of the giants who've gone before you. And that works for both what worked and what didn't work. Don't reinvent the wheel. So for me, what I like about Expand is the level of experience and just how much experience is in that room that people can share. And that's my favorite part. I love being able to share what I've learned over this many years.
I don't know if it's happened to you, but often, like when I'm on stage, like, probably in the past couple of years, I used to be the young gun, you know. I used to, I remember, first of all, I remember, being in the audience at a at rain events,
Yeah, a long time ago.
way
Yeah.
back when, like 20 plus years ago, and just, you know, just just being so green and asking, a ton of questions to everybody, the speakers and all that stuff. And then slowly, years after, it transitioned to me being in the front of the room. But I remember when I was starting, like we're going back 18 plus years ago when I started getting on stages and teaching about real estate. People saw me like it was almost like, this young person, like we can't believe this young person is, you know,
Doing it.
doing it, right? And I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
Now
But
I feel more senior in the room.
well,
And
if you
so
if you
I'm wondering what you feel like. Like did you go through those stages, and what, how does that feel?
Well, again, it gives me a lot of confidence because I've been through it before. And that's certainly what, at 67 versus 47, there is just experience that there is no replacement for. I've been
Yeah.
through it. I've been through cycles. I've been through difficult times, in my own real estate, in my own businesses, in life in general. So there is a part of it where, we talk about older, wiser, and that just what happens if you're paying attention, you just get wiser. So for me, I enjoy being the kind of the older guy in the room, to be honest with you, because as I'm watching people struggle or question, there's certainly a lot of experience that I can bring to the table. So for me, that's what it's all about, is being able to share just that many years of knowledge.
For uh for me, I just love having you around. There's a level of wisdom that you bring to the table, and being, being the leader of the rain community, and then me being the leader of Wealth Genius. And I've always thought that people in this industry should collaborate more and work
Mhm.
together more. And you know I'm always excited to see, people from the rain community at Expand,
Mhm.
and just watching Expand grow and continue to flourish the way it is. Do you do you feel that in this industry, all these different communities, and all of the different coaches or whatnot, like, it is a small community to begin with, but
Yeah.
what do you think the benefits are, by collaborating more and creating more?
Oh, well, it's such a great question, Alfonso, because, there's a phrase, right? Our perspective is our reality. And what we get stuck in is our perspective. And when we come to events, we start to see other perspectives. When you and I, as leaders within our communities, when we collaborate together, it's a shifting of perspective. It's about being able to share different experiences. I mean, you are certainly in that multifamily space. I mean, in real estate overall and wealth
Mhm.
generation. I mean,
Yeah.
you're certainly kind of dialed into all of that, but your expertise in multifamily, what's going on. I mean, it takes what Rain teaches in the foundations of investing in real estate to a whole new level. I'm always happy to bring to the Wealth Genius community the economic updates, those economic
Oh, we
fundamentals,
love those. We love those.
teaching people to understand how to make decisions and make data-driven decisions. There's something that I've learned after 40 plus years of business, 25 years of real estate investing. Economic cycles are what they are, and they're going to happen. There is never straight up. There's up, there's down, there's all the things that go with it. We get emotional in when it comes to money. People have a lot of emotion around it. When it comes to creating wealth, a lot of emotion. So here's the thing: through boom cycles, everybody thinks it's going to last forever. It's a high,
Mhm.
it's emotional.
Yeah.
We're geniuses. Real estate's the answer.
We're gonna
And
be
then
rich.
you're gonna be rich. And then in slump cycles, holy crap, there's a bubble, it's gonna burst.
Sell,
Real
sell,
estate's gonna,
sell, sell, sell.
yeah. And sell, 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 sell. And they think the slump cycle is gonna last forever. You know, People think the boom cycles are gonna last forever, then they think the slump cycles are gonna last forever. They're both wrong. The reality of it is we go through the cycles. How we go through the cycles is what sets us apart from those who are speculators as opposed to investors. And when we start to invest, when we look at economic fundamentals, when we base it on data, when we put ourselves in a great environment, that's how we win. You and I have been on this kind of journey long enough to know that in order to create financial futures, number one, you got to take action. We joke about the term expand and the event expand. But in order to expand, you have to get out of your bubble.
Yes.
And so you and I, within bringing our communities together, it's a nice mesh. It is a time when we're going through a slump cycle and we do it collectively together to support the communities. And then that way the communities can support each other. We did it even at the conference in Edmonton with Calvin.
Yeah.
These are opportunities to come together.
Love it. October 31st, November 1 and 2. It's happening. It's going down in Toronto slash Mississauga. We like to say GTA, but people in Toronto don't like to say that Mississauga is in the GTA or whatnot, right? Vice versa. But it's happening in Mississauga, right? You can take a flight, get off a plane, and go right there. When you arrive on the Friday, it's gonna, the Friday, the day one, October 31st, it is Halloween. And I haven't dressed up in about 25 years, so I got my costume ready. What about you,
Okay.
sir?
Well, now that you mention it, I'll make sure I do.
So you're gonna keep it a secret then.
I'm gonna keep it a secret.
All right, and then we start. The day two is on the main stage, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. We have a gala planned on the Saturday evening, which is a masquerade, and we're all gonna be dressed up really nice. I love the gala. That's one of my favorite parts about the expand, just having a good time. Now, you being the grandfather of real estate, you when I right after dinner, I look around for Patrick and you're gone. You're gone to bed. So hopefully you can stick around for the dance.
I'll get a nap in. I'll have to get a nap in during the day.
And then the Sunday, of course, we have a whole bunch of breakout rooms, and you always do such a good job with your breakout room. What we the one we did last year, it's like you do a really good job at guiding people, when you have multiple speakers and kind of being a host. Have you ever have you always been good at that, or
I think,
where does that come from?
well, because I've done it, I've done it for 20 plus years. You know, I've done dozens, probably hundreds of them. So it's, for me, and plus with my podcast, The Everyday Millionaire, it just comes from doing it, and you start to get a flow and a feel for flow. And I love doing it, by the way. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, and so you'll be hosting some of the panels as well.
Yeah.
And the grandfather of real estate is going to be on stage at Expand.
Well, and I'm going to make sure, Rain community, come on out. I mean, whether you're still a member of the community or just a former member of the community, come on out, stay in touch, get grounded in what's going on in the real estate world. So many people, I tell you, Alfonso, so many people are sitting on the sidelines, and I cannot stress enough, get off the sidelines. I get all the rhetoric out there around real estate, especially in Ontario, and the condo market meltdown. All real. I 100% get it. Do not sit on the sidelines. Engage.
Yeah.
That way, and coming to an event called Expand, you will, in fact, expand your capacity, your thought process. You'll gain a different perspective. So important to put yourself in the environment. Whether you go out and buy real estate tomorrow or not is, aside from even that possibility, come hang out with like-minded people, and you will gain a way different perspective of what's going on in the world.
I love it. We're going to have about over 100 vendors. We've never had so many vendors. If you are coming because you're curious, or you're coming because you're truly wanting to expand your real estate portfolio, this weekend we'll give you the opportunity to build your entire team in a weekend. So we're really, really excited. We have more speakers and presenters than we've had in the previous years. So we got over 60 different presenters. Wow. We got over 100 different vendors, hundreds of attendees, and we're just going to have an incredible time. It's something that I look forward. We do it twice a year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a code. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, look at in the show notes, and you'll get a code to be able to attend Expand. Use the code. I'm going to share this video with you, Patrick. You can share it to your audience.
Beautiful.
And you also have your own special code, because we do want to make sure that we invite the Rain community as well. So this is where the entire real estate community is going to come together for one great weekend on a Halloween weekend. Also, one thing that I forgot to say, family friendly. On the 31st, we'll have a meetup reception for everybody that's coming, and we're gonna have a costume party for the adults, and there'll be a separate room that we have for the young people, and they'll have some trick or treats, and they'll have some activities.
It'll be fun.
Very family friendly. So bring your kids, bring your grandkids, bring everybody, bring the whole family. Expand October 31st to November 2nd. If you're not there, you'll be square.
Yeah.
So
be there, be talked about.
Yeah, be there, or find out on Facebook how good of a time we all had.
What you missed, exactly.
So Patrick, look, thank you. You're always a great inspiration, and you've been on my show. I don't even know how many times, maybe like 6 or 7 times, and you're a great inspiration. And let's leave them with something inspirational. What's a mantra? What's something that you live by? What words of inspiration can you leave them with?
Clarity equals velocity. And if you're wandering around feeling stuck, not knowing what to do, coming to an event like this will help you gain the clarity you need to take those steps that you get momentum and create velocity, creating a financial future. Take responsibility for it.
I love it. I couldn't have said it better myself. Patrick, Francey, Rain community, Alfonso, the Godfather of Real Estate. We will see you October 31st to November 2nd. Alfonso loves you. Patrick loves you. And we're going to see you all at the top. Woo! Take care, guys.
See you then.
The Wealth Genius Expand Investor Conference is coming to the Lux Convention Center in Mississauga this October 31st through November 2nd, 2025. with over 50 speakers, 100 vendors, and over 1,000 in attendance. This is the premier real estate investor conference that you do not want to miss. Hosted by the Godfather of Real Estate, Alfonso Cuadra, Expand Investor Conference, October 31st through November 2nd, 2025. Get your tickets at eventbrite.ca, and we'll see you at the top.